Yeah, and welcome to Papastache 102. So, I know what a lot of you out there are thinking. You're like, dude, you got an acoustic. What are you thinking? We can't always play electric. Well, we can, and I have up until like a year ago when I started another channel. Which, if you want to get better on acoustic, check out that channel, papastachepop. It's like all pop and country and all that kind of stuff. Lots of acoustic stuff. Now, there is a link below if you want to check it out. It is an acoustic guitar link that teaches how to strum. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there are probably good at strumming or any of that kind of stuff, or ladies. We can't forget the ladies. But it helped me to come up with lessons for my students, right, on how to start counting so that you can create exercises for yourself. So even if you're really good at guitar or you're that beginning to intermediate threshold, check out the link below because it's going to help you think about how to, in your brain, if you don't have a metronome or some sense of a timekeeper around, which is really important, to be able to count in your brain and really work on exercises to, throw a wrench in your mental mechanics and be like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta really concentrate on what I'm doing. And then it allows you to create different feels and, express yourself like a songwriter. So check out the link. Let's zoom in for a closer look and break down this lesson. All right, now, of course, this lesson is completely applicable if you have an electric guitar as well. But one of the things I've struggled with over, countless years of playing guitar, even up until this day, is really picking cleanly arpeggiated chords with hammer-ons and really letting those open strings ring open. Now, the reason I like an acoustic is because there is zero ability to hide behind mistakes. There's no distortion. There's generally no effects like echo or any of this other stuff. It's just really pure, no BS, like you either do it or you don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to see, I'm already thinking ahead of myself, do a D chord, suspended second, right, where we're just not putting on that, we're going to leave that open. And we're not even really going to use that so much. It's just, we're going to want to keep our other fingers, loose and ready to go. So I'm going to use this D, then I'm going to go up, I'm going to grab the B note, C note, all on the A string, and then I'm going to throw in a hammer-on on the D, and maybe a hammer-on on the G string, 2nd fret. We'll just play with it. We're not going to do anything completely rigid or specific, right? The whole point is to give you ideas on how to create exercises that are applicable to actual songs, right? We're not just going to... Great, has its place, but let's start creating, and while we're creating, we'll practice at the same time. So we're going to go... Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to reach up with my pinky and grab the 4th fret D string. Okay, so we got... Now, what you got to be careful of is I used to, and I still do sometimes, have the tendency to not play on the tip of my finger and keep that finger really well rounded because we're going to want to play that G string below. Right? See? Right there. Right there on camera. There we go. So, we're going to go from there. Right? The whole time we're really using this as an exercise to keep on the tips of our fingers and keep the notes and the open strings below the fretted notes ringing open clearly. Now you can pick any of the strings you want. I'm going D, G, B, and then again D, G, B, right? And then I'll pick A, G, B. Maybe do it again, right? It doesn't matter. We're just trying to cleanly hit the strings. You can... do any picking pattern you want. The point is just staying on the fingertips. Now right there, what we're doing is we're hammering on, but we're trying to keep in time. And then we're trying to keep the notes ringing at the same time, because sometimes when we do hammer-ons, the trick isn't pushing as hard as you can onto the fret. It's attacking it quick enough to where the note doesn't die out and it rings just about as clear as the note before it, right? And depending on how hard you tack it, you know, players like Satriani and Van Halen and Vi and all these really awesome legato guys, sometimes it's tough to tell whether they're picking or whether they're hammer on and pull off because they have such great attack on their fingers. Now that is hammering on from 2 to 3, and then I'm going to go open D, hammer on to the 2nd fret, and then grab the G open. Right? So even as I'm teaching this lesson, right, there's, it's not perfect. What we're doing is we're trying to just do exercises and on the fly trick our brain into doing something new, right? We can all get something down that we repetitively do over and over again. The trick is mixing it up, changing the order maybe of what we're doing things. If we're going, right, go the other way. Right, all the time being really with nothing to hide behind, just really having to commit to the notes that we're playing and really trying to use picking dynamics at the same time. Let some notes come out more. You want some notes to be represented with maybe a little bit more attack. Right? Whatever you want to do, you can do hammer-ons on the D. Right? I have no idea what I'm going to be doing, but I'm just trying to keep the rhythm going. Right? Obviously, it's going to fluctuate. It's not going to be perfect. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there are just completely terrifying guitar players that, this will be like, dude, this is nothing. I got this, right? But this is one of the things I struggled with. And so I thought it would be beneficial to at least some of you out there because, arpeggiating chords and picking them cleanly is a whole different ball of wax than, being able to hit everything at once. Right? Which is an art form of itself, right? How to pick and play and strum chords with, dynamics and... Right, what part of the chord you're strumming, the bass notes or the treble are all together, right? That's a whole nother lesson. But these are just things I wanted to share. I wanted you to try this D, and it uses every single finger. You got here with your pinky, first finger, second finger, third finger's down here. Use those strings to do hammer-ons and pull-offs with on the 2nd fret. Open strings to fretted notes to pull off. All that kind of stuff, and just see if you can incorporate that into your practice regimen. Now, if you have, GarageBand or PC with any sort of loop or drum loop that you can practice to, even better. Not only does it keep you focused on playing the strings and getting them to ring out really well, but it keeps you beholden to a time, a constant doom, 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 doom. So you're working on 2 things or 3 things at once, which is always great. Keep it slow in the beginning, right? That's the key. Keep it to like 80 to 100 beats a minute and just really slow and steady. Really work on that feel, right? Creating some of the notes a little dynamic, a little more loud or a little less loud. Work on that as well. So, hope that helps. Hope that works out for you. Catch you next time.